Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitabugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to announce to you the very first feature of March Club Quitabug. I will be spotlighting the lovely Petal palette stamp set from the 2019 annual catalog. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. I'm going to share with you the free card kit that I've got to go along with this stamp set, and I'll give you all the details about Club Quitabug as we go. So here is that Petal palette stamp set. This is a really fun one. You've got two cases here because there are so many sentiments and then also a lot of great images to choose from. So in addition to the Petal palette stamp set, I will also be using these Stampin' blends. So I have got both shades of Rich Razzleberry, both shades of Old Olive, both shades of Real Red, and both Mango Melody shades. Then I've got my bone folder, paper snips, Memento Tuxedo black ink, dimensionals, tear and tape, snail adhesive, and mini glue dots. And I will also insert a little image there with the full supply list in case you want to take a quick screenshot so that you'll have that supply list. You can also find links to all of the supplies in the video description, and I've got all of them linked over on today's blog post, which is also linked in the video description. So all you have to do to ever receive one of my free card or project kits is simply place a minimum $40 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $40 before tax and shipping, and make sure that you use the coordinating host code that I've got somewhere here on the screen. Using that code just lets me know that you're wanting to receive the free card or project kit in the mail as a gift from me to you. Just don't use that code if your order is $150 or greater, because you will still qualify to receive this free card kit in the mail from me, but you will also earn Stampin' rewards, so I don't want you to lose those. And don't forget, this is the last month of celebration, so you might as well bump that $40 order up to $50 so that in addition to receiving this free card kit, you can also choose a free celebration goodie. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the projects in the kit. So I've got 3 cards and 1 3D project for you. So here is card number 1. So this one says, "Life is so much better with you in it." I think that's so pretty with the Real Red and the crushed curry. And then card number 2 says, "Congratulations." Very elegant looking card. And then card number 3 says, "Some things are just meant to be, like the two of you together." Isn't this so pretty? I love these cards. And then here is your 3D project here. This one says, "From the Heart." And then you just lift the lid and you've got this great little hexagon gift box. I think it's so, so pretty. And I used the window box Thinlits dies to create this little box. So I thought that was really, really a cute 3D project to add to this kit. It just seems like it fits so well. And then you can also see that I did also use the Petals and More Thinlits dies for the cards as well, and those dies coordinate with the stamp set, so you don't have to have the dies because I did die cut everything for you in the kit, but there are coordinating dies if you're interested in getting both the stamp set and the dies. So your kit does come neatly packaged with all of the consumable supplies that you will need to complete one of each of the projects in the kit. And just be careful when you're opening it so that none of the little embellishments and things slip out or get lost. And then envelopes are also included, as well as a full color PDF that has a supply list and all of the measurements for each project. So I've gone ahead and put down some scratch paper since we are going to be coloring with our Stampin' blends, and I have got my Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to go ahead and bring my ink to the stamp, and I'm going to ink up this big cluster of roses, and this is an E-block that I've got this stamp on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this little die cut for this rose image, and I am just going to lay it right on top. I've shown you this before. I'm gonna lay it right on top of my stamp, so I've got it face down, and then I'm just gonna bring in another block to actually stamp this down. So this just helps you with those pre-cut, pre-die cut pieces so that you can stamp them a little bit easier. There we go, look at that. Perfect. So I'll set that to the side for a second to dry, and then I'll bring in this die cut oval, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment that says, "Life is so much better with you in it." And you just want to put that at the bottom of this oval. So I'll put that right about there. I love the font of these sentiments. Look how pretty that is. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be coloring with both shades of Real Red and Old Olive. So the way that I like to color when I'm using my blends is I start with the light shade and color in the full image. Then I go back and trace any of the black lines with the dark shade. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video as I get this little cluster of roses colored in. So sit back and enjoy the coloring. So you can see our finished red roses. Isn't that so pretty? I love coloring with the blends. So let's go ahead and get this card put together. So for the card base, I have got a Whisper White Thick piece of cardstock here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece of the Regal's Designer Series paper. You could use either side. I'm going to use the polka dot side. And in this kit, you might have variations in the Designer Series paper that you have, because that's the way that the designer paper comes in the package. So let me show you some of the patterns. So for example, here's the pumpkin pie from the kit. So you've got the white polka dots, then you've got the pumpkin pie polka dots, and then you've got two different types of stripes. So your kit could vary in the pattern that you get. The color will be the same, but the pattern might be a little bit different. So I've got my designer paper added. Then I'm going to take my roses and just put a little bit of adhesive on the right side of the roses. And I am just going to tuck the little leaf between the word life and better. And let's see. And just put that right there. And then we will add some dimensionals. Alrighty, got my dimensionals on the back, and then I will just add this on right about, wait, let's see, right about there. I think that looks good. And then you've got some of these red rhinestone jewels included in the kit. So just pop those onto your card. I'm gonna kind of try to keep them in a triangle formation. Okay, just like that. So that finishes up card number 1. So let's go ahead and get started on card number 2. So I'm gonna bring in these two pieces, these two die cut pieces. So we've got another one of the little rose clusters, and then you've got this stitched rectangle piece for our sentiment. All right, so I've got my rose image and my Memento Tuxedo black ink. Just gonna get this nice and inked up. Again, stamp this die cut upside down like so. Bring in another block. Okay, let's see how that looks. Pretty good again. So for the sentiment, I am going to go ahead, I think, and use the congratulations. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick with the congratulations, but you could try some of these other sentiments if maybe you don't need any congratulations cards. You could use some of these other ones and see if they'll fit on this little die cut piece. That's the great thing about these kits. You can change them up however you want to. Okay, so I'll ink that up and then I'm just gonna try and stamp that right in the center. And you could use this congratulations for so many occasions, and it's elegant enough that you could also give it for a wedding as well. So the same way that you colored the roses on the first card, you want to do the same thing on this little cluster here, except I colored them with rich raspberry. My leaves are still old olive. So let's start putting this card together. So I have got a shaded spruce card base here. So I'm just going to give that a nice crease. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this little piece of old olive designer paper. Okay, I got my snail. And then I'm going to add this across the lower portion of this piece of Whisper White. And hopefully you can see that, but I've already embossed this piece of Whisper White for you using the Layered Leaves embossing folder. And you can decide which side you want to use. I'm going to use the embossed, but you could also use the debossed side. It's up to you. And I'm just going to put this about maybe 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom of the card base, the Whisper White layer. And since this has been embossed, you really want to use a strong adhesive to adhere this so that it doesn't curl up or lift and peel off of the front of the card. So I'm using my tear and tape. Snail I don't think will be strong enough. Then just take something pointed. You could use your scissors and peel up the backings from the tear and tape, and just add that to the front of your card. You could also pop this layer up on dimensionals. If you don't have tear and tape, you could do that. Now let's do some dimensionals on the back of our sentiment, and I'm just going to use a little dimensional edge here and just pop that on the back of that sentiment. And I am going to line this up with this dark old olive stripe here. Put that, yep, right about there. And then dimensionals on the back of our roses. Okay, and then I am going to just slightly overlap my roses on that sentiment. So let's see. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And just put that down just like that. And then lastly, you've got a few little adhesive pearls. So just pick those up, add one to the center of each of your roses. And there you have a beautiful, beautiful congratulations card. I love it. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we are on to the third card in the kit. So I've got this piece of Whisper White, this rectangular piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and those lovely roses again. I'm telling you, I love this image. It is my go-to image in this stamp set. I just absolutely love it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in the bottom left-hand corner. This image fits great in corners. So I'll just put it right there. Perfect. And then I've got my sentiment here that says some things are just meant to be, like the two of you together. Again, this one could be, this would be a great wedding card, engagement card, anniversary card. Be great for that. So to color in these roses, I'm going to use both shades of Mango Melody and Old Olive. So I'm going to go ahead and get coloring. I'm going to start with Old Olive. So you can see how beautiful those Mango Melody roses turned out. Love it. So I'm going to go ahead and add this layer onto my piece of crushed curry cardstock. Yes, Mango Melody with crushed curry, and you can't even tell the difference. Love that. Okay. Then let's bring in our Whisper White thick card base here. Give it a nice crease, and then we're going to add this piece of Blackberry Bliss designer paper. You can again use whichever side you want. If you want to use the stripes, go for it. I am going to, okay, I want to make sure I have this lined up. I am going to use the polka dots. I'll just pop that right here. Okay, there we go. If it hangs over any, I have just a tiny, tiny bit there I can see. You can just take your scissors and just trim that right off. There we go, it's just a sliver. And then on the back of this layer, I am going to use dimensionals. Got my backings off, and I'll just go ahead and add this right over my polka dots in the center there, right there. There we go. And there you have card number 3. So pretty. All right, so lastly we have our beautiful little gift box. All right, so I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black ink ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and get all of my images stamped here. So on this piece of crushed curry, I'm gonna stamp my sentiment. And for the sentiment, I'm going to use the From the Heart. Again, you can change it up and use whichever sentiment you would like. And I'm gonna put that onto the left side. There we go. Then on this die cut Whisper White circle, I am going to stamp the 2 floral images from the stamp set. So I'll stamp the little rose cluster here on the right, and then I'll stamp the other little flower image right here on the left. Perfect. And lastly, I am going to stamp my little bird on this bird die cut. So again, just ink up your stamp and then press your bird down and bring in another block to stamp it. That should be good. Yep. So I'm going to very quickly color in the roses red and these little flowers rich raspberry, and then I'll do my leaves in Old Olive. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So there you can see how pretty those images turned out once we got them all colored in. Okay, so let's start with this little gift box. So what you want to do is you've got two of the same die cut piece. So I'm going to take one of those die cut pieces and bring in my paper snips, and on one of these you are going to cut off the left and the right tab. Okay, so that's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold on all of the score lines, so that window box die, it scores it for you. So it die cuts and scores. So go ahead and on both pieces you want to fold on all score lines. So once I got all of the score lines folded on both boxes, I went ahead and adhered my Terran tape. That's the adhesive that I wanted to use to seal up this box. So on the die cut piece where I cut with my scissors and cut those two little tabs off, on that piece I put my Terran tape all around the tabs that are on the hexagon. Then on the other box, I only put Terran tape on the square parts that have tabs. Okay, so you can see how to set your adhesive up, where to put it on your two pieces. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start assembling the box. So you want to go through and just start taking the backings off of all of your little pieces of Terran tape. The tabs on this box are pretty narrow, so you might notice that your Terran tape hangs over the edge. That's okay. All you're going to do is fold the Terran tape back onto itself, and it will just stick to itself, and then it's not hanging over those edges. So you just want to make sure that you do that, because otherwise you might stick some parts of the box together that don't need to be stuck together. Okay, so there we go. So I've gone ahead and folded back all of those pieces of Terran tape, and now I'm just going to take this and adhere these sides together, just like so. Okay, so now I have got this. So now what I'm going to do is bring in this piece. So what I want to do is I'm going to turn it this way, and you've got this little tab down here that's on this piece. You want to adhere that tab into this little opening right here. Okay, so we're going to stick these two together. I'm going to flip it upside down so that I can see a little bit better how to line these pieces up. Okay, I think I've got it. There we go. So then just adhere that together. And then you want to tuck these other little bottom flaps, tuck them in. So this is building the base of the box up. I'll go ahead and tuck this one in as well. Okay, adhere that down. And then tuck that side flap in, and that builds up the sides. Okay, and then this last little side flap. Okay, and then you can tuck in the sides of your box, poke them right in. Oopsies. There you go. And there is, I don't think, oh, I didn't fold on this one score line. That's why it looks weird. Like, why is this not looking right? There we go. Okay, now tuck those in. There we go. Now that looks right. And there is your beautiful little hexagonal box. Isn't that nice? I love this little box. So perfect little gift box there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put the rest of our pieces together and finish this box up. So I'm gonna adhere this piece of Whisper White onto our scalloped Real Red circle. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and, do I wanna pop this on now or should I wait? I think I'll wait. I think I'll get all the other pieces on and then I'll pop it on. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little bird and put a dimensional. All right, I've got a dimensional on the back of my little bird, and I'm just putting that bird right in between my two little floral pieces. Then I'm gonna take my sentiment and I'm gonna pop this on. It's gonna sort of be at an angle like this, just above those flowers. So I'm gonna put that on with dimensionals. So I just used a little edge piece for that, and I'll just get that right about there. Alrighty, and then we will do some dimensionals on the back of this Real Red piece using my paper pumpkin dimensionals. Okay, let me make sure we're the front. Okay, so it needs to go over here. And you don't want to press too hard when you adhere this because you can push the lid through the box. Okay, so I want to make sure my bird is standing straight, and it's okay if my sentiment is at an angle. Let's see. Move that over just a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to put it right about there. Okay, that looks good. And then to finish this off, we're just going to take this little piece of Whisper White Baker's Twine, tie it in a simple little bow. Doot. All right, so I just stuck my glue dot on the back of that little bow, and then I'm going to stick the bow right there on the side here. And then I will just snip these ends just a little bit. There we go. Isn't that so cute? Okay, and there you have your beautiful little gift box. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Aren't these colors fun together? Love it. All right, so there it is, you guys. That finishes up my Petal palette free card kit. I hope that you have enjoyed. I absolutely love these projects. I love the colors. I just think this is a gorgeous kit, and I hope you like it. So don't forget, all you have to do to receive this free card kit as a gift in the mail from me to you is simply place a minimum $40 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $40 before tax and shipping, and make sure that you use the host code that I've got here on the screen. Just don't use that code if your order is $150 or greater. You will still qualify to receive the kit, but you'll also earn Stampin' rewards, and I don't want you to lose those. So I do have links to my online store just below the video in the description notes. And don't forget, you can also bump your order up to $50 because this is the last month of celebration, and you can receive a free celebration item in addition to receiving this free card kit. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you have enjoyed this kit, and I will be back again with another tutorial very soon. Bye now.